back and many thanks for staying with us. Everyone has been reacting over the presidential address yesterday. But what about members of security? We do have Charles Atwiine, the CID spokesperson, who is ready to do the same with Mr. Mbide Stephen right here on Morning at NTV. Good morning, Mbide. Where are you and what's the latest?
Yes, good morning, Jeremy Busiko here at the CID police headquarters. We're here with Charles Atwiine, that's PRO of this division of the police. But of course, we know that during the time of then the Police Inspector General, that is General Kaleka Ihura, the president came out and spoke about the weapons Bakawukumi in the police force. But we thought that maybe then things would be much better. But on Saturday, when the president was speaking about the abuse of human rights, torture, beatings, and instigation of fear among the suspects, police, of course, the security agencies, of course, he mentioned them as one of the perpetrators. And of course, we saw the images, and this isn't a separate from the time even before the elections. Here, Mr. Charles Atwiine, by now, one would say that by now would have come out, confess, and accept that things are not going on right within the force, and maybe something has to be done. How would you react to the president's address, which was not in any way kind to you?
Good morning, viewers, and I don't know how you rushed to your conclusion that the president was not so kind to us. To the contrary, as the force, we welcome the words of HE, the president, and we look at it as a strategic guidance. The president was not castigating us. He was simply guiding us at the fountain of honor and the president of this country. And I can assure you that his words were welcomed. We are going to take it obediently and ensure that we clean our house.
So do you want to say that you have all along you've been waiting for the president's directive when big things have been happening in broad daylight by officers?
Professionalization of Uganda police, just like any other institution, is a gradual process. It's not an instant fix. I can tell you that our policing method of today is better than that one of yesterday. And we've reached where we have reached not by coincidence, but we've been methodical, we've been logical and systematic. The beauty with it is that following the president's communication, it complemented the existing laws. We have the Prevention and Prohibition of Torture Act. We have Human Rights Enforcement Act. Of course, we also follow the Constitution, particularly Article 44, which talks about the non-derogable rights. So when the president comes out and talks, it complements the existing laws. So his talk is welcomed and it complements the work that has already been done.
Where's the problem? Where's the gap, the missing link within the investigations arm of the police, of the security agencies in general?
No, first of all, you need to appreciate that we've been doing a very good and incredible work because every Monday you hear our elder brother Baine talking about the criminals who are in Rusira. I think as per last Monday, the government prisons have got close to 40,000 criminals. You get it? No, others are actually, others have been sentenced. Others are on remand. They are chosen persons. Going to these prisons is not by shortcut. It is as the result of the input put by the CID. So the result of the prosecution, which is very successful by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution. So it's not by coincidence. But few areas that have been identified by different Ugandans are there. And we have, I can assure you, we are doing all what it takes to ensure that all suspects are handled with utmost impartiality, with utmost professionalism such that no single element of torture is realized.
As an investigations arm, do you interest yourselves into these acts of torture because they are evident? Even the videos are there, the marks are there. Would you also interest yourself in knowing who exactly these kinds of misconduct and abuse of human rights?
It's not a matter of interesting ourselves. It is mandatory. It's mandatory.
So you're going to do that?
That all acts of torture are not only condemned, but they are criminal. Now, for us as investigators who are charged with the output of ensuring that we yearn to see an output that benefits us as the investigators, but at the same time that creates grounds for Ugandans to enjoy justice. Now, when there is any element of torture that comes our way, we don't welcome it because it affects our output. And we have vigorously been fighting this. We have charged individual police officers who have been involved in acts of torture. Individual. By the way, for the record, I want to make this thing categorically clear that acts of torture are not sanctioned by the institution of police. These are individual errant officers that do these acts, and we have got a record of where we have charged more than even 20 people who have been participating in acts of torture. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Charles Atwiine. We shall be keeping our eyes on you and how you go ahead with at least the directives or the guidelines on ensuring that, yes, you respect the human rights. Because
we do.
You swear to protect and serve.
We do. It's not a matter of choice. It's a matter of law. There are so many laws that makes us obliged to comply to them.
Thank you so much, Charles Atwiine, the spokesperson of the Public Relations Office of the Criminal Investigations Department of Division or Directorate of Uganda Police, and he has been elaborating and, of course, reacting to the President's address and the directives, guidelines to the executive agencies. Stephen Imbido, Professor Chiruga, now handing you back to Romeo Usiku there in the studios, and of course we'll be giving you much more conversations tomorrow at 6:30.